Welcome to the San Diego Comic-Con at-home Rick and Morty panel. I'm Brennan Johnson. I play Golden Folge. Let's get it. Dan Harmon, co-creator and executive producer of Rick and Morty. Also an executive producer, Scott Marder, executive producer and showrunner of Rick and Morty. Spencer Grammer, you know her as Summer on Rick and Morty. Sarah Chalke, God bless. She's Beth. Chris Parnell, the best Jerry that's ever jerried on Rick and Morty. Season 5, you all. Get into it. I'm not going to yell it out.
Did it.
How good does it feel to be back?
So good.
Pretty
so good.
Really.
I'm excited to show a full season.
Amazing.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just torture the audience more? Like I feel like that's part of the enjoyment of enjoying Rick and Morty is that like part of it is a little masochistic, right?
It was certainly a successful business model, as it turns out.
It turned out to be a really successful business model.
This season is split up into like 2.5 episodes, right? Like it's 2.5 and then 2.5.
Yeah. Third one just cuts for technical difficulties. It just that weird symbol pops up.
You have to watch all of season 5 through a special eclipse box. You can only see a shadow of season 5
until you watch it through.
Rick and Morty is off season 4 Emmy win. That feels awesome, right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
We don't get an
Super
Emmy,
excited.
but like the people who make the show do, and they're really excited about it.
Dan, is it behind you in your closet? Can we see it?
He has 2 now. Wait,
I'm not in the closet. I'm in the closet.
I forgot for a second.
He's under a giant skirt.
Yeah, there's a bulldozer in my front yard because I got an Emmy. So you could afford one around here.
Scott, was this your first Emmy, second Emmy?
That's my first. Yeah, it was super exciting.
Yeah, that was a difficult season to get through.
I mean, the cool thing is like Vat of Acid, the one we won for was literally what we broke on my first day at work, which was just like the coolest start to getting to work on Rick and Morty. I mean, you were there, Brandon. It was super awesome. Some of them come together so like quickly in like such a beautiful way.
Vat of Acid literally started with just a conversation where we were talking all about why it was in the 80s that vats of toxic waste and acid were used so readily in the resolution to stories.
Why were they a requirement for a backdrop?
Brandon was the one that was like, everyone else was like, well, Reaganomics and like changing times. And I think it was Brandon's like, no, it's cheap. You just throw a bad guy in a vat of acid, wait a second, float them bones up.
You got to float them bones.
We definitely got hung up on the bone faking. That really got us.
It is a really cheap way to kill somebody because it's just like a boiling, bubbling green water.
Yeah. I also feel like while I was there, we talked a little bit of Nimbus.
Definitely. We definitely talked some Nimbus.
Is that Mr. Nimbus?
Nimbus, Richard, you look like ass.
Let's get this over with. I'm sorry, this is the guy?
Jerry?
Hold on, no. I've seen you a planet, and this is the guy you're afraid of?
When I started, Nimbus was just in this lost Rick and Morty episode, but everyone internally was like, there's this character, he's amazing.
The Nemesis. Yeah, Nimbus, the Nemesis of Rick, yes.
Right.
Nimbuses.
The Nimbus.
Which he has a ton of. He's got a bunch, but this one actually feels like somebody he's actually trying to impress, right?
This is one that he's got a unique relationship with him. He's definitely ashamed of him being his nemesis to some extent. Looks like they have a really storied past. It's a super cool episode, 501.
I love the art for Nimbus. How did you guys figure that out? Like, I just was so blown away when I saw it. It's so creative.
We certainly took a page. David Bowie was definitely an inspiration there.
I think it started with the question, how could you be into Submariner in high school without getting beaten up every day? And then we asked ourselves, what if the goal was to get beaten up?
Nimbus is also the episode where we see Jerry and Beth sort of have an interest in porn.
Yeah.
Yes, they were, directed by Ms. Wong to be more sex positive. And
who do you think picks up the videos?
Nimbus. Oh
boy.
Beth.
Yeah, Beth definitely would. Yeah, because I don't think Jerry. I don't know how. I can't. I think Jerry would be a. I'll have what you're having kind of porn like surfer.
He'd be like a worm in that couples therapy episode.
Yes. Yes, on Little Sanchez from season 1. They're off planet couples counseling.
And there's new Wong, which is great because she's always lovely to see. To pop up in an episode.
So
good.
She's amazing.
I don't know why she makes, not sure why she makes Golden Fold eat poop, but we'll talk about that later.
Right.
She's trying to get you over it. You can't, you got a problem. You got a serious problem.
I'm also seeing that this season has more whole family adventures. You guys seem like you're including the whole gang.
Oh, one of mine.
Where are we going?
Off grid, Morty. We're gonna live in the woods like libertarians. We'll hunt rabbits and trade with like little pieces of gold bar that we cut off with a knife.
That licks.
We might be decoys, Summer. Everything about this licks.
Oh, maybe now you'll empathize with the decoys you're killing.
Wait, shh.
Yeah, I feel like there's a gradual growth to them just getting pulled along on stuff. Rick's getting more familiar with people, and it's becoming a little bit more than just Rick and Morty.
Yeah, it's good to open that.
Maybe you're just like having more female characters involved in the A storyline.
Nope, that's not it.
I was just thought, I just thought maybe I'd add that in there, but obviously.
In all fairness, Dan,
Chris Parnell got a few new nemesis.
Oh yeah, so good to see you again, Chris. Oh my God, how are you?
Spencer, how are you?
Good. So good. Yeah.
502, you guys start to deal with decoys, right?
Yeah, decoys as opposed to clones and robots and things like, that was an idea that was always bouncing around, the idea of decoy families.
A little out of character to say this right now, but you guys look really cool.
We might be decoys, huh?
One way to find out.
That's the ultimate fantasy, I think, once you get beyond, am I going to be able to eat or pay rent, and then you start worrying about how can I keep what I have, and I can't think of any. My biggest nightmare is home invasion, and what would be better than having just knowing that you were always like someone could home invade you, but they'd be home invading a fake family. It's like having two houses in a homelessness crisis. You'd be like, let them home invade. My home's still not invaded yet.
There's Dan Harmon.
This is actually really sad, guys. Dan's like, it's cool. There's a home over on this street. You can totally home invade. Just don't home invade the one I'm in right now, currently. But
that's
it's
kind
fine.
of the gist of it. That's sort of the gist
of it. Is a housing crisis. So, we'll just pretend like it's fine. It's cool.
Would you save your decoy, or would you watch your decoy die?
Would I save my decoy? That's a really interesting question.
It depends how many decoys you have, right? I mean, you save your decoy if he's your only decoy. But
are you going to become one of those families that keeps the plastic on the furniture, or are you going to actually, sit on the fabric?
Are you saying that the death of a decoy is equivalent to not having plastic on furniture?
Yeah, like if the whole point of a decoy family was for them to take the hit, but then you're like, it's sort of like your shoes are supposed to protect your feet from the pavement, but we get really into shoes and we get mad if we get on our shoes, which is kind of weird because we value our cars, but a car is like a shoe for your whole body. It should just be covered in crap and dented, and every dent in your car should be like, oh, that would have been me.
It seems like there's a lot of Summer sidekick in the 5th season. That Rick is sort of taking Summer along a little bit more. Feel that way?
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel like that's happened.
Morglutz, Slardivart, and Furcus 9. 3 planets are all ending in a delayed succession of cataclysmic events. A jam like this comes around only once in a lifetime. Morglutz's sun is going supernova, Slardivart is falling into a black hole, and Furcus 9 is getting deep impacted by an asteroid. They're all having a major final blowout, and I'm gonna drug it up and suck it up before each one goes kablamo, and I'm taking my favorite grandkid along with me.
Hells yeah.
10 seconds on Morglutz, and you'll be up to your neck, and I could give 2 shits about what's his ass. And also herpes.
Season 5 definitely explores some friction between Rick and Morty, which leaves some openings for Summer to jump in. And she's super capable when called up. It's like it's not fair, frankly, how little he looks to her, because when he does, she's normally more with it than Morty.
It's kind of an older sister thing, I think, where you become a babysitter if you have a little brother, and yet you're still, and that's sort of what Summer is like, where Rick uses her he entrusts her with a lot of stuff that he wouldn't entrust Morty with, and yet he doesn't plain and simple go on adventures with her. And it's kind of a backhanded compliment. I enjoy that part of the relationship.
I don't think he can exploit Summer as much as he can exploit Morty in a way.
I think that's why she's not around as much, because like Morty's the whipping boy. Like that's his primary function.
Exactly. And to have Summer there, she'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I maybe don't feel like that right now. And like, I have rights. So
yeah, because Morty would bother to engage Rick. Like if Rick was like, well, actually Morty, left is right. If you think about it, and Morty'd be like, well, geez, Rick, I don't know if left should be right. But Summer would be like, who cares? Sucks to suck. Like that would
just
make
so nihilistic.
Rick, like, more vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. And then Rick would be like, you're right, it does suck to suck. Don't we suck? And like, we do suck. Can we do something fun? Right, I get it. Yeah, no, I feel similarly. It feels like there's been a lot of experience between all of the characters and a lot of family episodes, like you had said earlier, right? Where we're starting to understand more of the family dynamic. I mean, I think even Beth's character has gotten a lot of play. It's been really fun, honestly.
That was going to be my next question is, do you feel like, Sarah, do you feel like Beth looks down and is proud? Is she scared or is she proud?
Is she scared or is she proud? In what sense? Like in just over the course of...
There's sort of a Summer emergence. She's getting a little more badass.
Yes. Oh, she's proud.
The word I usually use for Scott.
Yes. No, I think Beth is very proud. I think she's like, you go on. I mean, obviously she was I think a little more nervous when it was Morty. I feel like she's less nervous.
Does she have a favorite?
I don't know.
It's definitely Summer, obviously.
Yes, of course she has a favorite.
The horses.
Yeah, totally.
Always the horses.
Always the horses. Always the horses. Oh my God. That was one of the funny, that whole scene with Morty at her veterinary office. Just amazing.
It brings up the great episode where we're watching a little more than a little. We're knee deep in sperm. For lack of better phrasing.
I wanted to talk about that episode.
Do you need volunteers?
Why would the sperm go to the Grand Canyon? Why are you looking at me like the answer is obvious? You can't be serious. Are we in middle school? You think sperm are instinctively heading for America's...
Don't high road us, lady. It's where they went.
Just watch a teeny weeny little bit of Beth watching Jerry do karaoke. And it is the sweetest episode. She really seems like this season she's kind of into her man. Is that a good feeling, Chris Parnell?
I think they're moving in the right direction.
Finally. Yeah.
Yes, Jerry enjoys that. I enjoy it too.
No. I want to know how you feel about it. As Chris.
I dig it. I like seeing Jerry and Beth, be a couple and turn each other on.
It's so much positivity.
So warm when you say it. If Jerry had a go-to karaoke song, does he have a couple in his back pocket?
The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald would be number 1.
Is that a real song? Is that a real song?
Oh my God, it's Gordon Lightfoot. It's amazing. Yeah. I wish I consulted you.
You pulled that so fast. Is that a real?
I have sung that
karaoke.
That is the funniest response.
You heard the song.
The Wreck of the Edmund Fitz. I have it queued up. I'm going to listen to it after. I'm sure.
Great story song. It's a very sad, tragic song, but other than that.
It's the OG shipwreck ballad.
We're going to move on to the game show portion of the show. I will be your host for this portion of the show. Please get your paddles ready, guests.
Okay, my paddle's by the ice maker.
I just flashed everybody at this pair.
The next game we're going to play is called Most Likely, which is great because we're going to figure out which character would be most likely to do the thing that is mentioned. All right. Who would be the most likely to send an order back to the kitchen in a restaurant? Luca Harmon. Oh, I have a tie at Jerry and Rick, but I'm honestly, for my money, I might have to go Jerry. I'm going to have to go Jerry, right? Just because we know that
Jerry would only send it back, though, if Rick also sent it back or if he was trying to be cool, right? It's not because he would just immediately think.
I feel like Jerry would eat what they bring him.
But I also think the reason I think that he's so caught up in what are you supposed to do that I think that on Jerry's 35th birthday dinner or something that he would be like, how come they brought me the wrong dinner again? God damn it! This time, it's over, Charlie Brown. You're taking this football.
You're done.
That's what Charlie Brown wanted to do: take the football.
He's a famous football player.
Who is most likely to show up on 90 Day Fiancé? Because I know, Dan, you love that show.
Yeah, I
do. Well, she takes after my own heart. I feel the same way. It's cool.
I'm just trying to find them all.
Me and Summer are so
Summer for the win.
Love 90 Day Fiancé.
Good. You know what? She is sex positive, okay? She's sex positive.
Who's most likely to cry at their first child being born? Like a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jerry. Jerry. Why Jerry?
I think he's sentimental. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't Morty actually cry at the birth of his first baby too? To the sex robot? Doesn't he actually?
I could see Morty would have been a close second for me.
Which one of our members would be most likely to donate to charity? Hard one. I know. So far, we have a Summer, a Morty, and a Jerry. 2 Jerrys.
Whoa, controversial.
Parnell. What would you say, Rick?
Controversial.
Very controversial.
Just to give me a heads up on why you'd say Rick.
Beth doesn't donate,
sometimes at the end of the episode, sometimes Rick, can surprise you with, he sometimes has acts of kindness, moments of forgiveness and I'm going to let it go. And so I could kind of see him under the right circumstances, just giving something away to somebody,
Yeah, it seems like charity is something that people do when they're super smart. And he's super smart.
I do. I give a lot of stuff away.
What's the weirdest thing you've... No, you don't.
The weirdest thing you've given away.
I'm not super smart. That's the
problem. Which family member is most likely to commit to self-growth? Oh. I feel like 2 Summers, 2 Beths.
Tiebreaker, Chris Parnell.
Chris Parnell. This is happening.
I'm going to say Beth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, son.
You know what?
Sarah, what?
I mean, I think she's very, very dedicated to her therapy with Mrs. Wong.
Yeah.
And she wants to go, she wants to figure it out. She's trying to convince Rick to come. And I think she's interested in it.
Yeah, she might be the most resistant to it. Like Jerry might be the one who's like, oh, let's go to that. And Beth would be like, we're not going to that. But assuming a threshold is crossed where Beth decides she's on board, then she's ride or die, I think the kids say.
I think that's a very hip thing kids say.
She's even ride or die when she abandons things. I mean, she's a very, very zero-sum personality.
In the family, who would be the first person to start eating people on an island if they were stranded?
Yeah, no question.
I mean, I
think Summer maybe too.
I feel like it's a tie. Like I don't know. Just like I'm surviving. I don't care how or with what, but I'm gonna.
Well,
survive.
Summer, there's actually I brought Cheez-Its as well. Yeah, I don't like them.
Exactly.
I could see Rick applying a dry rub to a guy who's still alive. He just knows that guy's going to bite it. Look, I just want to prep. Soon. I want to prep you for when you're dead and get this really cooked in.
Yum.
Who has the best dental hygiene? Who flosses?
Oh, interesting. That is interesting.
I'm going to say he's got a lot of time to do this.
Yeah,
I was a toss up here.
Yeah. You know,
I love that
it really
Summer
is.
doesn't brush her teeth. You guys, like what? Please.
I wonder if that's a thing where, like, actually, if you saw them not on their first date, but you know, kind of the one thing that works for them in cohabitating, the one thing that it was like they both agree, you know. Yeah. On how much you should floss.
They both have a water pick.
Yeah.
They both like have those fancy new toothbrushes, you know.
Who's most likely to live in a TikTok house?
House.
God.
We know.
Summer.
Oh, fine. Number one.
What is a TikTok house? That's just a house where everyone's dancing in every room.
Oh God, it sounds
everyone's
horrible.
working on some sort of dance.
Yeah.
It's
who has milk for dinner?
Oh, I don't know.
Of course.
I was going to say like Morty. I think I'm going with Morty.
I was going to kind of say Jerry too. But...
And it is Jerry for the win. That has been the Rick and Morty panel. It has been so wonderful talking to all of you. Can we please a large at-home round of applause for Dan Harmon, executive producer, Scott Marder, producer and showrunner.
Oh, Scott, you're amazing.
Spencer Grammer and Chris Parnell. Thanks so much for sticking with us through this wonderful panel.
Hey, Brandon, I got Rick and Morty on the line.
What?
Yeah, they just called in.
Okay.
Should I put it on? Okay, stand by.
Okay, guys, we have one more thing. It looks like Rick and Morty actually made it.
All right, Morty, we're here. But late, Rick.
Yeah, you guys, look, the panel's over.
See, I told you, we missed the whole thing. All right, calm down, Morty. I'm sure you didn't miss much.
Look, guys, I got to wrap this thing up.
Did you, Brandon, did you do the Golden Fold voice? I was going to ask you to do that.
No, I didn't get a chance to. Dan was talking and Sarah told us a super funny story.
Oh, man, you see, Rick, I should have been there, all because of those stupid holes you just needed me to dig. You know, it couldn't wait a few hours. Morty, those holes are incredibly important.
Holes?
He had me digging holes in the backyard. No idea what for. All right, Morty, the guy's trying to wrap this thing up. We got more holes to dig.
All right, next year. Have a good one.
I wanted to be on the panel. I had questions and thoughts. Brandon, do the Golden Fold voice for me, please. Come on, Morty. No, let go of me. Morty, calm down. I wanted to be on the panel. I had questions and things. Let go of me.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. This has been Rick and Morty panel at San Diego Comic-Con at home. Go ahead and check out the newest episode of Rick and Morty on Adult Swim at 11 p.m. this Sunday. It's the only place you can see it. If you missed in season 1 through 4, please stop over at HBO Max.